But we are all equal, and he is never made for your pleasure.
I said, you know what, I'm gonna hit you. And then she said, go ahead, do it.
A hashtag is a misguided stereotype that perpetuates anarchy amongst the male community.
You know, I think that for me, that whole debate is a non-starter. It's something that I don't even want to discuss because it derails from the actual issue.
I'm trash anyway.
People went on and on and on and on about whether they're trash or not, and that doesn't change anything. It doesn't stop the next woman being killed.
Then later on I thought that this crime, the face of this crime is in the form of a man.
You know, when a woman is going to report a case of abuse, sometimes a lot of the time, probably 80% of the time, the person the woman is reporting to is themselves a man. And because he's a man, he is most likely, if the stats say that 50% of women in South Africa are abused, that means that the chances are that the person you're reporting that there's this particular crime to commits the very same crime at work. At home, sorry. And so he doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing. So why would he, why would he write this down as a crime? And he only sees this as something that should be resolved between families and between the couples. And then again, your station commanders, they are men. So if you complain to a higher power, higher authority, I think you face the same issue. You know, I think that for me, that whole debate is a non-starter. It's something that I don't even want to discuss because it derails from the actual issue. So what that has successfully done, unfortunately, is that what has happened is that people have started debating about men are trash and not all men are trash, and the actual conversation we should be having is going by the wayside. And it becomes an emotional issue where people are insulting each other, and there is no real education. So for me, I see no real value in it. So I just ignore it, and I just think that let's discuss the issue. And if men are trash, then they're trash. If someone says they're not all, I really don't care. But what I do know is that there's a crisis, and it really needs to be resolved. And my understanding, for example, of the theory or the men are trash is not saying it's about the conditions that the world is in. It's men hold the power structures, and that's how it is. And for me, I look at it that way. I don't look at it as an attack on men. And I think it's very fragile for anyone to actually take that thing personally. I think it's because as men we have accepted that there's certain things they can just say and it's a joke, it's funny. Unfortunately, I think especially when these things actually have actions and they have consequences and they are harmful to people, so then they're not really jokes. When you think about it, and not even think about it because it is an act that people act on these things. So but also I think there's also a part of willful ignorance. I think when it comes to those things where people do not want to accept it. I always, for example, if someone says that I always want to know where my woman is. She must tell me who she's with, what she's doing. But what gives her the right to have that? Even if you're married, you still don't have a legal right to constantly know where they are, to control their movements. And for me, I think we need to actually gain a movement where we literally call people out. And even if it seems extreme, even if it seems like a killing, a joke, and people's good time. So I think we need to come to that point.